Hey everyone, Ivo once again. I want to welcome everyone back to a new movie review. And of course, I want to give a 32-year anniversary special review for Batman 1989, which came out June 23rd out. And already Batman did celebrated 30-year anniversary and already turned 32-year anniversary. And I really want to talk about one of my personal favorite comic book films. And of course, I do have the DVD. Yes, this is the DVD. And I also do have this film on Blu-ray. And Batman 1989 is actually one of my personal favorite childhood movies of all time. The best Batman in my opinion, better than Nolan movies. This is my number one favorite Batman film, and I love this movie to death. It's really dear and special to my heart, and one of the best comic book superhero movies ever. It's based on DC comic book, Yeah, this is the back. By the way, sure one is a Serbian cover, and also we have the scenes, with Batman and Vicky Vale. Of course, Joker. The explosions, But Batman 1989, love this movie to death. It's very dear to my heart. Directed by Tim Burton. Written by Sam Hain. Of course, was by Warren Scarren. Story by Sam Hain. And of course directed by Tim Burton. And Tim Burton is definitely my favorite. This is actually my favorite movie that he ever did. I love this movie to death. Really dearly love this movie to death. And Michael Keaton, in my opinion, is the best Batman. I think he's the best as Bruce Wayne and Batman in the Batsuit. I really just love the Batsuit, the action, And I'll say the best comic book superhero. Anyway, I have to drink so that I'm not gonna fall asleep. The year 1989 was actually the year of Batman, which was a summer blockbuster. And in December 1988, they actually did a teaser trailer. And there was a silence in movie theaters for seeing the teaser trailer. And also, fans boycotted the idea of Batman because all the TV stations were actually rerun the 60s TV shows of Batman, And that's awesome. It's cool that it turned out 30-year anniversary. So already it celebrated 32-year anniversary. And like I said, it's my favorite Batman, my favorite DC movie of all time. This is actually the first superhero comic book movie that I actually saw as a kid. I think I only saw Superman 2, half of the film, but this is actually a complete film that I saw. And I remember all my friends are talking about this film. There was a lot of fans, and all my friends, hated the 60s TV show. And I tried to find that on IMDb trivia while I was making my notes, and I was searching for it. But Adam West, who played Bruce Wayne and Batman, Cape Crusader, or the Dark Knight, back in the 60s in the TV show, he heard that that Warner Brothers is actually making a Batman movie, that the studio is making a Batman movie, and he came back to them and asked him to play the lead role of Bruce Wayne Batman like he did in the 60s, but Warner Brothers dismissed his application, dismissed his wishes because they were looking for a new actor, for a younger actor. And that Adam West was very, very upset, and he was very deeply hurt. He was really heartbroken because they did not hire him to play the Cape Crusader, because the studio was looking for a new they were actually looking for a new actor, younger actor, because Adam West was kind of way too old that time, because it ended 20 years ago. After the success and the release of Superman, and Superman 2 in 1978 and 1980, this movie was actually on ahead for nearly 10 years in development until they actually finally made it. Tim Burton was excellent choice to direct this film. It was actually his first big budget movie. The movie cost $35 million for making this film was the budget. And also the movie was being filmed in England in Pinewood Studios, on James Bond set. It was actually filmed there. I thought it was filmed in US, but when I looked for film locations, it was actually in England, in the UK, just like they filmed James Bond films there. So opening weekend in US and Canada made only $40 million, gross US and Canada $251 million, but worldwide made $411 million, which was actually beside Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, was the most higher ranking grossing movie in the year 1989. So it was completely, the movie is completely fascinating. It has tons of action. And like I said, it's my favorite Batman movie of all time. My number one favorite Batman. Michael Keaton is the only Bruce Wayne Batman, and it was cool he returned for the sequel. But that's Michael Keaton. I think he did a great job, writing in it. Now I do have this film on DVD and Blu-ray, and the Blu-ray has better version on it than DVD because it's HD. The DVD only has audio commentary with Tim Burton and of course the trailer, but the Blu-ray has tons of special features the DVD doesn't have. There's also prints for the music, which DVD doesn't have. Bad Dance, Partman, and Scandalous, which are two songs by Prince. Also, the music score by Danny Elfman is fantastic, it's great, it's a fantastic by Danny Elfman, did a fantastic job, better than Hans Zimmer, especially the finale, they did great job. The 99 was a classic, and Michael Keaton was the best choice for the role of Bruce Wayne and Batman. And when he also put the bat suit on it, he couldn't hear. I think that his claustrophobia helped him out. For the role of Kim Basinger. Kim Basinger is the only one, the best one as Vicky Vale. I think Vicky Vale is underrated. Through all the Batman series, I never heard Vicky Vale. Only once, I think she was mentioned in Batman TV animated series, but that's it. She's the most underrated character ever, and I think that Kim Basinger was a fantastic choice for playing the role of Vicky Vale. And of course, I'll talk about Kim Basinger a little. Now, the first choice to play Vicky Vale was actually Kim Basinger, but her agents, producer John Peters, they actually didn't allow him to meet her unless he gives her an offer, and that time Basinger ended to be busy in that year. So they go. So now Sean Young was cast instead, and during the horseback, sequences for her character, the actress fell down off the horse and she broke her collarbone, and she had to drop out of the role of Vicky Vale. 1 week before the filming this movie began, Kim Basinger received an emergency call for this movie, so she accepted the role right away. Back in 1991, Kim Basinger, which I wrote down, back in 1993, Kim Basinger filed for a bankruptcy twice, because in my opinion, Kim Basinger is a fantastic actress. She's awesome actress, she's a fantastic actress. She's great. She's a fantastic actress, Kim Basinger. She's awesome, I'm one of the biggest fans. She was in James Bond, Never Say Never Again, and she was awesome. So back in 1993, she actually filed for a bankruptcy, which of course she saved her trouble. But back in 1991, the actress and the business partners invested $20 million in Braselton, GA town. That included the bank, industrial park, 50 buildings, and 1,007 acres of land. She wanted to build the main attraction like Dolly Parton did with Dollywood. The Baltimore Sun resold the property. The business didn't work. They only sold for $4 million, while she invested $20 million and lost all the money, and she filed for bankruptcy. So back in 1993, boxing Helena, Kim Basinger, she went and she backed out of the role. She signed a contract to play the main lead role, but she backed out of the contract. And because of that, because she backed out before the filming scheduling, because she had second thoughts, she actually signed the contract, and because of that decision, the mainline pictures, they actually estimate loss of $6.4 million, and she was sued by producer Carl Mazzuccone for $9 million, but was ordered by the judge to pay $7.4 million damages. She had to pay taxes and a lawyer, and Basinger lost the file suit, and she had to file for bankruptcy. Of course, 2 years later, it was actually settled. The court, it was settled, but yeah, but she really had a problems, and I really felt bad. And also, I think she had a toxic relationship with Alec Baldwin. I know probably wasn't right, but I just saying toxic. But I think she also went off with. She also really. I think that Kim Basinger, in my opinion, is one of the best actresses in my opinion, because huge fan of her, and I really love her as Vicky Vale. Also for also the actress who played Jerry Hall, she played Alicia, the love mistress to Carl Grissom, played by Jack Palance, and Jack Napier, the Joker. She was engaged that time by singer Mick Jagger, and she was spotted when she was making a commercial, and they asked her if she would be played to the character Alicia in this movie, and she accepted the role. The bat suit was done by the way, this is my favorite bat suit. Definitely my favorite bat suit, this is my favorite bat suit. Definitely my favorite bat suit that they did. The bat suit was created by costume designer Bob Brinkwood. It was really hard making the costume by the comic books, 6 foot tall hunk, but he really had difficult time. But he pulled off License to Kill James Bond in the favor of Batman, which was awesome. Also, the costume designer for Miss Basinger was actually by Linda Henriksen. And also special visual effects for Derek Maddings. And second unit director cameraman was Peter MacDonald, who directed Rambo 3. He directed the sequel to Rambo First Blood Part 2. He directed this movie there, that I have a Blu-ray on my shelf. But yeah, the movie was fantastic. Definitely one of my personal favorite movies of all time. The best comic book superhero movie. And Batman 1989, plays Jack Nicholson, Michael Keaton, Kim Basinger. Of course, I forgot Jack Nicholson as Joker. Jack Nicholson was brilliant. He was terrific as the Joker. He stated that this is actually one of his favorite characters he ever played. And like I said, Michael Keaton played the Cape Crusader, the Dark Knight, like it was written on his skin. And Jack Nicholson wrote the Joker, the character, the Killing Joke, which is based the Killing Joke on was the first movie to expose the origins of Joker. By the way, the filmmakers made up the name Jack Napier because Joker never in comic books had a name. He was unknown, he was just unknown. So that was actually made up, that he's Jack Napier, or that he killed Bruce Wayne's parents. But Jack Nicholson was a fantastic. He was brilliant. Yes, Heath Ledger will be the only best Joker in other people's opinions. But to me, Jack Nicholson was the best. And I prefer Tim Burton's movies over Christopher Nolan. Yes, I like The Dark Knight and Batman Begins. I also like less the third one, but I like those. But to me, Tim Burton's movies are better because they're fast-paced, they're more Gotham, they're more gothic, they're more dark. Because in the Nolan's movies, they're actually more New York. In Dark Knight Rises, all the bridges you can see, that's not Gotham, that's New York that they actually was. This movie is more Gotham, it's more darkish. I love the atmosphere and the elements. It's more fantastic. And I love that this Batman's that's more serious, that's more gothic, that's more dark. That he uses martial arts, which is awesome. The fight scenes in this movie are better than in Batman Begins. I barely can see a hit in that movie. This movie, Batman is better. Even that doesn't talk like, "Hey boys, I look back and see, smoke a pack of cigarettes," like that, that he smokes like a pack of cigarettes, like that. But yeah, it was. But Michael Keaton was the best, About Jack Nicholson. They actually came to Jack Nicholson and asked him if he would be interested of part to play Joker, Jack Napier, and Jack Nicholson was actually was hesitant to take the role, so he changed his mind and he passed the role. So Robin Williams was been cast. Rest in peace, Robin Williams. Jumanji, he was cast to do the character Joker, but later, the producers came to Jack Nicholson once again and told him that they cast Robin Williams, and Jack Nicholson then he went and he accepted the role, and Robin Williams was written out. Because that upset Robin Williams, because they actually used him as a bait, and he refused to work for Warner Brothers ever again. He refused to play the Riddler for Batman Forever. So because of that decision, he actually, I think he did ended later to work for Warner Brothers, because when the studio apologized, to pull that dirty trick, and I feel really bad for Robin Williams. They shouldn't do it. But I'm glad they apologized to him, and it's really sad that Robin Williams is no longer with us anymore. It's really sad for Robin Williams. So yeah, that's actually the story. Also, which I forgot, another cool fact about the film, which I have to really say about it. Um, they actually that time in the 80s, in the 88, in the 1988 and 1989, Michael Keaton was dating Michelle Pfeiffer. And the studio wanted for Vicky Vale Michelle Pfeiffer, but Michael Keaton was against it. He felt awkward. He felt that would be awkward. But Michelle Pfeiffer later she played Selina Kyle as a Catwoman. In my opinion, the love interest for Batman, the best one is Vicky Vale. She's so underrated. I still prefer Kim Basinger over Pfeiffer, but that's just me. I prefer Kim Basinger more. So yeah, that's what I love about Kim Basinger's character. Why I love Kim Basinger. I love her hair. I love the music score by Danny Elfman. I love the direction by Tim Burton. The visual effects. I love the Batmobile, the Batman gadgets, his suit, bat suit. I love the film. Michael Keaton could not even hear when he was also wearing the bat suit. They also tell him to be careful for his weight, not to gain a lot of pounds for the costume, so that he can wear correctly. And Michael Keaton, he sweated to work for this role. He sweated. He worked really hard for this role of character Batman. And definitely the best one. Now to the story. The Cape Crusader, the Dark Knight, is battling Joker and his crime wave, of mob in the Gotham City, and in the opening scene, we have like those two goons who goes, we have a great logo in the open scene, a great music score by Danny Elfman. And the open scene shows up in Gotham City. A family, parents, mom and dad, and a kid. They get lost. They go in this alley, and there's this smuggler who has to have a dollar to speak English. It was Eddie and Nick. Of course, I wrote down. Played by Eddie was played by George Roth. With the hat on it. And Christopher Fairbank played Nick. The goon with a gun, who goes, hits the man down, and puts the gun on that lady's face, his shoulder, and then he goes and robs them, and like I said, Eddie said, you shouldn't pull the gun on the kid, and on the roof, we see great Cape Crusader, like in animated series, and Eddie says that he heard that this guy, something happened. He says, no, I heard that the bat got him. The bat, come on, he was drunk and fall off the roof, and Batman shows up, and the guy, Nick grabs a gun, shoots the Batman, and I love the bat suit, that bat suit was against bullets, saved his life, and Batman goes and kicks the guy with a great kick, and the guy falls in the door, and he grabs the guy, and puts him like this, and says, this guy, don't kill me. He also shows the bat rank, was bat rank, like boomerang, bat rank. He catches the guy, grabs him, puts him on the edge of the roof, and Nick says, don't kill me. He says, I won't kill you. I want you to do me a favor, tell all your friends about me. And the guy says, what are you? And grabs and says, I'm Batman. That line was actually improvised by Michael Keaton himself. I'm Batman, because yeah, that line was by that line was actually was made by Michael Keaton. He was the one that used, I'm Batman, the line. yeah, he came out with the famous line, "I'm Batman." In the script, it was written, "I am the Knight," And there's also another script in which later they changed, in which "I'm Batman, motherfucker," but that was cut because Michael Keaton came out with the famous line, "I'm Batman," without motherfucker or with "I am the Knight," So, yeah. And like I said, Michael Keaton was unable to hear while wearing the bat suit. He said that claustrophobia helped get him in the proper mood to play Batman, And also in RoboCop, when he played the bad guy, Michael Keaton, he had no remorse to Joel Kinnaman when he was complaining about the RoboCop suit. He had no sympathy because when Michael Keaton was wearing the bat suit that time, in Batman 1989, he actually went through and he had no sympathy, and I agree with Michael Keaton. Michael Keaton was a fantastic choice. He's a fantastic Batman. And I actually read now that he will reprise his role as Batman in The Flash. I think will be a Flashpoint, which the movie The Flash will came out probably two years later, will came out. And he probably will be, we'll probably will see him the third time now as Batman. But in my opinion, Michael Keaton was the best of the film. So, yeah. Also, Billy D. Williams was Billy D. Wallace. I think it was Billy D. Wallace, the black actor who played that guy in Star Wars 5 episode Imperial Strikes Back. Lando, I think it was Lando. That guy, I think it was Billy D. Williams. He took the role as Harvey Dent, but in Batman Forever, it was actually the Tommy Lee Jones who took the role. Billy D. Williams. It was him, Billy D. Williams. It was him, who played in Star Wars Episode 5. He took the role as Harvey Dent. So that was cool, he have a black Harvey Dent. I thought it was cool. So Jack Napier, he works for Carl Grissom, a mobster, a crime lord in the city. And he's ruthless, he's old man, but he's ruthless. He's a crime lord. And when Harvey Dent is actually having his nose, in their business, in the Axel Chemicals, Jack Napier, who has a relationship with Alicia, Boss Carl Grissom's mistress, when Grissom finds this out, he set up Jack to take the fall by sending him into Axel Chemicals, the plant, which they wanted to break in the plant, and to make like it was sabotage so that they won't be connected to Axel Chemicals. But they got all, they actually got set up. Because you see that Carl Grissom finds out there's something going on between Alicia and Jack, and says, "My friend, your luck is gonna change." He calls Eckert, because he has all the cops in the pocket. And in the meantime, we also introduce, we also see Alexander Knox, the reporter, the main reporter. I love the guy, played by Robert Wuhl. Wuhl, he played Alexander Knox. I love the guy, when Deco says, "I say you're full of shit, Knox," I love that guy who's a reporter. He's the only one interested in Batman, but no one cares about him. No one believes him, And he meets Vicky Vale and they go to the auction to Bruce Wayne to find out, And then we see Bruce Wayne played by Michael Keaton in the auction, and during the cameras, with Commissioner Gordon, because Alfred, also Michael Gough, rest in peace, he was the best Alfred, better than Michael Caine, in my opinion. He tells him that the Commissioner Gordon is leaving, so he looks the tapes and finds out that that's that Jack Napier is cleaning out Access Chemicals, the plant, So Batman, Bruce Wayne dresses as a Batman, goes to some chemicals, and there's a shootout. There's a shootout scene. One of the gangsters gets shot, by Napier's gang. And I love when this guy walks, the Batman goes and punches him, or he uses that gadget. I think was sparing grappling hook. Sparing grappling hook and shoots him in the face, and he ties him up. He goes and kicks the bad guys, Then he grabs, then he grabs Joker, but Bob, the Joker's goon, played by Tracey Walter, that was actually friend of Jack Nicholson. Tracey Walter was in Conan the Destroyer, which I reviewed that film. And he goes, and he uses. And he says, letting go or kill Gordon, so Batman lets, and Jack says, night dress for a walk, and grabs the gun, tries to shoot him, but Batman disappears, and he says, hey, Eckert, think about the future, and shoots him, and the time Batman goes, kicks Batman shows up, and Napier shoots him, and Batman puts the hand. And the bullet, flies, flies right in Jack Napier. You see all the blood, in the face. And Jack Napier, he grabs he grabs himself, for the fence. And Batman tries to help him out, but then he lets him go in the vat of acid chemicals, because he found out later that Jack Napier was the one that killed Bruce Wayne's parents. In comic books, it was actually a normal thief who killed Wayne's parents. Because in this movie, Batman was not trained by the legal shadows, or was the legal by Russell Gould, because he was trained himself. But that was awesome, So now Batman thinks that Jack is dead, but he wakes up and he turns himself into a homicidal artist, of course, now alias Joker, and he goes and kills Carl Grissom to get revenge because he was fried, and Carl Grissom, Jack Palance, he was also the same year in Tango and Cash, says, "Are you Sugar Pops?" "Who are you?" "It's me, Sugar Pops Jack, I heard you're fried." I said, "You heard?" "Now, can't believe you said it for a woman." "A woman!" And the guy goes, "Don't bother," puts the gun, says, "Your rival will wanna spit." "I already once killed Jack. I was once dead. Now call me a Joker." And goes, shoots him, and says, "What a day." Then he sits down, and I love that scene where he says, "Man, it's freak terrorizes, way to get a load of me. Boo, boo, boo." And I love, he smiles like a homicidal, way to get a load of me. Boo, boo, boo. I love Jack Nicholson, but that is brilliant. I mean, even Christopher Nolan, stated that it was brilliant how he portrayed Joker. It was brilliant in my opinion. So now we also see the romance, between Vicky Vale and Bruce Wayne. They slept together, and of course, Bruce Wayne says that he's important meeting, and he goes to that street, and Vicky Vale wants to find out more information about Bruce Wayne, so she goes after him, And that time when another mobster, because now Jack Napier wants to take over Grissom's rules, the rule in he wants to take his business, and he wants to rule the Gotham City. And another business partner of him wants to take the business, which was a legitimate sign, by Carl Grissom. And Joker shows up, he goes and kills with a gadget, he kills Rotelli, like the guy burns, I like the special effects with Derek Maddings. He's like burned, the guy gets burnt, it's really hot in the night, like burns the guy. I love that scene. And we see two mines, Ponto mines, two mines there. And the Joker shows up, yeah, it was there. I saw it was legitimate. Grabs says the pad is still biting. The sword grabs the pad, it throws right in the neck and kills the mobster. And his goons goes, shoots the cops, kills all of the bad cops, And now once again, Bruce Wayne sees Jack is alive, dressed as a clown, as a Joker. And he wants to know more about his origins, and like that. And he finds out that that Jack Napier had a degree, as I think was psychologist, And in the meantime, when Bob, he was following Knox because he wants to know more about his character Batman, who throws in the vat of acid chemicals, wants to know more about him if Knox knows anything about the Batman. And Joker, he sees Vicky Vale, he completely falls in love with her, He falls in love with her, and Bob says, that's Knox, he says, bad tie, no style, ooh, mother, just, what style, what a beast, and he's completely in love, and Bob says she made some guy named Wayne, and Jack says she's got about the trait, and Joker goes and rules Vicky, into I think was Gotham Museum of Art, for the meeting. And of course Bruce Wayne says, wait, when Alfred tells him that, he says, wait, we didn't have any meeting, that day. And she goes in the Gotham Museum of Art, and while she's waiting for Bruce Wayne, she gets an urgent package. When she opens it, she sees that mask and says, put it right away. And Joker lands the smiley gas in it, the deadly Smilex gas, and kills everyone in the museum except Vicky. Then his goons goes and destroy the art, destroy all the paints, they go destroy the art. And of course she now goes to Vicky, to introduce herself as Joker, and I love that scene when he brings, Alicia, and Vicky says, why she's wearing mask, and she took the mask, wants to see that he burned her face, he completely with that gas, with that acid, burn acid, he burned her face, and of course, she goes now, she tries to run away, and I love it when Vicky grabs the bottle, of water, throws into Joker and says, oh, I'm melted, and I love when she screams and tries to calm down the guy. Poof! Yeah, I love that scene. And then Batman, from the roof, you see the line. Even DVD had the line, he jumps there through the window like a badass he is, he goes with that gadget, I think was the gauntlet, it wasn't the spearing grappling hook, it was actually the gauntlet, and he puts the Joker, the gauntlet who has like two lines and goes to double lines, goes to hold on and grabs Vicky, saves her, they fly, the goose try to stop them, and Batman goes, kicks the door like a pure badass, with his leg is a pure badass, and they go to the car, they go in the car, and they escape, but then chased by Joker's goons, with the cars. They actually been chased with the Joker's goons, and I love the scene when he throws that harpoona, and he goes, and turns around while the Joker's goons crashes the car, and because they had to stop in that working tool truck, they had to stop, he says stop, they go out, and of course Batman, you know, grabs spearing grappling hook and shoots in the air. You know, that Harpoon catches. You know, he goes in the side. He asks Vicky, how much do you weigh? She says around 108. You know, and she says, you see there's a bear, grab it, and whatever do, don't drop it. You know, and she flies on the roof. He falls down. You know, I love that scene. He kicks the guy with the leg, you know, in the stomach, but he gets shot, you know, by Bob and his goose. You know, and Vicky goes the same way. What's this? Like a what kind of? It's like a Titan, you know, on him. What kind of suit is it? The guy says, check the wallet. He doesn't have a wallet. Check the mask. You know, even as a kid, I had no idea who was Batman. You know, I had no idea it was Michael Keaton as Batman as a kid. You know, and that's so fascinating. But it's fun because Michael Keaton tried to lower his voice. He didn't. He talked normal, unlike Christian Bale. You know, fuck Christian Bale. Michael Keaton is the best Batman, in my opinion. And I love when Batman, you know, when Bob said shoot her, you know, because she took a flashlight, she take a picture, you know, and Batman goes, you know, kicks the guy in the face, throws him, you know, he goes and kicks another guy in the face, throws him too, you know, in the car. And this guy, you know, this guy, a samurai, you know, it was, which I wrote down, you know, this guy it was a samurai, and I love when Michael goes through, he was like this, you know, this guy samurai, it was, I wrote down this guy, Master Scan Q Pao Dong, he was a swordsman, you know, Joker's goon. He was also choreographer for the fight scenes, you know, and he goes, he's a swordsman, he jumps off, you know, like a badass. He goes with two swords, he goes, and Batman like, whew, he's like this, and he goes, you know, Batman blocks every hit, you know, he goes and hits, you know, from every move the guy with a sword does, you know, and Batman goes, whew, punches him, you know, kicks him away from him, and this guy, you know, he goes once again, Batman uses his leg, you know, I can't show it, but he uses a leg and punches him in the face, the guy falls down. I love that scene, I really love that scene is fantastic, you know. And then Bob shows up, you know, with that machete in his arm, and Batman goes, and the guy runs away, you know, and you know, and Batman, when Vicky goes down, you know, climbs down, he says, you're waiting more than 100 times, and she says, oh really, you know, so he calls the car, you know, he says stop, the car stops, they go with the car, he brings in the Batcave. I love the design of Batcave, you know, fantastic, they designed the Batcave, and it was actually the designer Anton first who designed, you know, the Batcave. I love the Batcave, you know, I love the Batmobile. I love the Batmobile is the best, you know, the fun. Batmobile, I think was that scene. That's actually much better. No, that scene, that's Batmobile. Love the design of Batmobile. That scene, I think was also this scene, you know, that scene with the Batmobile. You know, this face-to-face Batman and Joker. You know, Jack Nicholson fantastic, Vicky and Bruce Wayne, and of course Batman, you know, fantastic. Now to the Batman, I love that scene, you know, so Batman, you know, he tries to search, you know, because now everyone starts dying, you know, with smile gas, you know, what's actually, you know, because people are actually buying, you know, the stuff that Joker sells them, and people are flying, and he tries to find out that poison that Joker is making, you know, so he gives to Vicky, and I actually love this scene much better than in Batman Begins, because she asked us, you know, that Sam say that Batman is actually a man, and said that he's insane, and you know, and Batman says he's psychotic, you know, and she says, you can get this to the porters yourself, why don't you bring me here? And he goes, you know, and uses that cape, you know, that cape, and she like wakes up in the bed. That's better than Batman Begins, because in Batman Begins, Batman says, Rachel says, bring her a cab and take her home, to Alfred. At least this movie is more scary, it's more darker in my opinion. This movie is better. It's scary, it's darker. I was always wondering what happened, and no one knows who Batman is. In that movie, in the Dark Knight trilogy, everyone knows Bruce Wayne's Batman. This movie, I didn't know who Batman was, And why should you bring me here? He uses a cape, and she's completely wake up in a flashback, and she says, he took the film. I love that scene, I love that scene. Better film, much better movie than Batman Begins, in my opinion, because they don't explain how Batman brings her, back in her apartment. Much better scene, in my opinion. So that was, and because Batman, exposed now the Joker's poison, and the Joker says, I have a pain, and that's bad. It shoots the TV, which I love that scene, and fantastic movie in my opinion. Now for the festival 200 years anniversary for Gotham, they actually, the mayor and the mayor, commissioner, and of course Harvey Dent, district attorney, they actually want to cancel the festival, but Joker, he shows up and says, there are actually some, you said really pretty mean stuff about me, the stuff were true, but that was under the ruling of Carl Grissom. He's dead now, I'm the boss, and I'm gonna give, the festival is gonna be a night, and I'm gonna give everyone, $20 million. And like, everyone shows up, and then you have my Prince song, and he throws the money, and says this is gonna be my corner, and the other corner is gonna be Batman, the real man who terrorized Gotham City, and says, I turn my mask, why don't you, and Batman, he goes, and he goes with balloon, unaware, when he throws the money with the Prince song, festival, he actually put the smiley, he actually put the, Deadly Smilex gas, with balloons. He put the Deadly Smilex gas with balloons, he was planning to kill everyone in Gotham City. He wanted to kill everyone while his goons put the mask on it. And Batman goes with bat wings. I love his bat wing, he goes with bat wings and grabs the balloons and takes the balloons out, And I love when Joker gets pissed and says, he stole my balloons! Why no one tell me that he has that, and he's now pissed, he says Bob gun and goes, shoots him. If you're wondering why he shoots Bob, I'll tell you and explain you why he shoots him. Because Bob was incompetent to find out that the Batman has those, that has one of those things, Or in Gotham City where the Joker says, where did he get these wonderful toys? I love that line, But what I want to say is because Bob was incompetent to find out that Batman's gonna do that, If he will be competent, this won't happen, But Batman took the bat wings and installed the balloons, get in the air, and that time Joker is upset and kills his own man, because Bob was actually his number one guy, just like Carl Grissom said to Joker, to Jack, you remember you're my number one guy, his number one guy just failed, he failed, that's the reason why he shot him, And he said, I need a couple 2 minutes, boys, and they all shoot, he says, it's over, go, and they're shooting, so the crowd goes away. And then Batman goes to the bat wings, and he aims with machine guns, and aims at him, he goes and shoots all the missiles, but he has a target, but shoots with the machine gun, and all the missiles hits many of Joker's goons, but misses Joker. And then Joker grabs Smith & Wesson Model 15.3 Combat Masterpiece, which was a long revolver with one barrel. And Joker goes, fire, blows Batwing to pieces, I love the scene and the explosion. And of course Vicky sees that, and Joker grabs her as a hostage, and they actually go in the cathedral, and of course Batman, all bloody, goes after them, and of course Joker grabs that acid, in his flower, and he destroys that bell. The bell falls down, so Commissioner Gordon and his men can go up, and Batman goes after them, And there's a scene when now Batman is up, because Joker chose Vicky's long shoe, and he's like up, and there's another samurai, another swordsman, who goes to the leg, and Batman uses that gadget which I wrote down, the Bad Grown Crusher, which is on his arm, he blocks the guy and he falls down. And there's also a black, there's also the black strongman, who goes and fights Batman, who beats up, and that was Clive Curtis. He was also in For Your Eyes Only. I think he was also a stuntman for A View to a Kill. He was a stuntman, but he was a black strongman who beats Batman, and I love that scene. And Batman jumps on him, he grabs him and throws him on the stairs, on the wood stairs, He goes, beats Batman. He goes and throws Batman, in the floor, and like Batman uses his legs. I don't know how they do that, but he uses the legs, grabs the guy, punches the bell, and throws him down there, But I love that scene. And I wanted to now know who that black, strongman gorilla, the goon of Joker was. It was Clive Curtis, The scene in the climatic fight scene was inspired and based off the black Joker tag who beat up Commissioner Gordon in Batman The Killing Joke before Gordon was kidnapped. That was one of the inspiration Burton took from the novel, and he tried to make a character fight scene resembling the film, So that was one of the reasons, And this film has a special place in my heart, and it's one of my all-time favorite films of all time, the best comic book superhero movie. And I also love the mano a mano, when Batman and Joker finally meet face to face, it's not that scene, that was the scene. They finally meet mano a mano, face to face, And just like when Bruce Wayne, twice, the second time in Vicky's apartment meets Joker, and he says, I know who you are, I'll tell you this kid, the kid, and Joker says, I like him already. And I love the quotes. I'm trying to find the quotes. Tell me something, my friend. You ever dance with the devil in the pale moonlight, and that was Joker, Jack Napier, who asked his young Bruce, when he shot his parents, in the street, And also when Batman Joker face mano a mano for the first time, actually, the second time I'll say, but for the first time, he says, excuse me, have you ever danced with the devil in the pale moonlight? He goes and punches Joker, and he goes, punches him once again, says, I'll kill you. And Joker says, you idiot! You're the one who threw me in the vat of acid chemicals. That was easy to get over it. Don't you dare try. You made me. Don't you dare try. I knew you try. Goes, punches the in the stomach, in the belly, and Joker goes, punches again, and he's like, ooh. Or when Batman goes and this punches him, and that prosthetic tooth flies out. It's fly out of Joker, you said I made you kill my parents, you know, I made you made me first. And the Joker said, no, it was a kid that kill your parents, you know. And he puts the glasses. What you guy hit the guy with the glasses, Batman goes, punches the guy in the face, you know. I love that more in the Dark Knight, you know. In the Dark Knight, Batman doesn't kick Joker's face just like he did in this movie. This movie, he kicks the living shit out of him, you know. And he falls out of the tower, but Joker, you know, but Batman, you know, and Vicky looking out, and Joker grabs them, throws them out, you know, they hold each other, and Joker goes, you know, says, here, a hand, you know, to Vicky. Vicky grabs the hand, it's a prosthetic hand, Charles falls down, but Batman saves her, you know. And I love the statue, and Joker says, what are you laughing about, you know, and Joker laughs, you know, and the two goons with the helicopter shows up, you know, and Joker goes to the ladder, you know, but Batman uses his gadget, and that was spearing grappling hook, you know, or was the gun? I think it was spearing grappling hook. He grabs spearing grappling hook. Yeah, it was actually spearing grappling hook, you know, the one that he used for Vicky. Wait, that's scene. That's the weapon, you know. Spearing grappling hook, and he shoots on on Joker, you know, and ties his leg to the statue. The statue moves. You know, and Joker keeps slipping, you know, on the ladder, and he falls down, you know, into his demise. Joker falls down demise, you know, and that was really dangerous. He falls in demise, and Batman and Vicky both, you know, they actually both now landed, but Batman saves her, you know. So by the finale, you know, so Batman saves Vicky, and by the finale, you know, Vicky says goodbye to Knox, you know, she calls him Ali, and Commissioner Gordon is actually, no, it's not Commissioner Gordon, it's actually Harvey Dent who reads, you know, the letter from Batman, says, if the forces of evil ever rise up, you know, call me, you know. And that time Knox asks them, how do we call them? He let us his signal, you know, and I love the beautiful signal, and I love the beautiful, you know, the finale Danny Elfman song, you know. I can't do music score like Danny Elfman, but fantastic. The finale is my favorite music score by Danny Elfman. The movie, of course, ends, you know, and yeah, and Batman 99 is one of my personal favorite movies. My childhood film, it was actually the first movie we saw as a kid, and I just really love this movie to death, you know. I love the Batsuit by Bob Greenwood. I love the Batsuit. I love how Michael Keaton, I think he did a terrific job as Batman. He was awesome. Let's see, I think I said almost everything. So yeah, Batman was released on 23rd June in the US. It was actually 99. The second unit, director already mentioned, was Peter McDonald, the cameraman. The visual effects by Derek Maddings, they mostly were practical effects, you know, but fantastic, especially for the Batsuit, for Batman. Michael Keaton was the best, you know, my favorite Batman. My favorite Batman will definitely be this one, you know, 99, my favorite Batman. But this is the Blu-ray. The Blu-ray is actually better. It has a better picture quality because I don't know if there's any cutscenes on DVD, because I watched it yesterday, Blu-ray, today I watched the DVD, if there's any difference. this Blu-ray has tons of special features. It even has the songs, from Prince, Bad Dance, Party Man, Scandalous. I just really love that. Prince was fantastic. I think that Tim Burton says that only part of it's actually his favorite, but Tim Burton says that movie kind of bores him, But I think Tim Burton did a fantastic job directed this film. I think the cast did fantastic job. The music score, Hans Zimmer's score can't hold a candle to Danny Elfman's music score, in my opinion. Christian Bale can't hold a candle to Michael Keaton, because Michael Keaton, as Bruce Wayne and Batman, did an outstanding, fantastic job. He wrote the character like it was right in his skin. Jack Nicholson was outstanding as Joker. Yes, Heath Ledger, rest in peace, is the best Joker. In my opinion, Jack Nicholson was outstanding and great as Joker. And Kim Basinger as Vicky Vale is my favorite character. There was an animated series. I think Vicky Vale was in an animated series. And yeah, Batman is based on DC comic books, and it was really awesome watching this film. I watched twice. I watched this movie yesterday and I watched it again, But yeah, I think that everyone, I forgot to mention, that's the dark scene in which the Waynes were killed, David Boggs played, he actually played Thomas Wayne, and Sharon Horn played Martha Wayne, and Hugo Bleak played young Jack Napier, who tells in the lines, "Tell me something, okay, did you ever dance, with the devil in the pale moonlight," and says, "See a kid," that was Hugo Bleak, who played young Jack Napier, and Charles Roskilly played young Bruce Wayne in this movie, I really had to say, before I finish the review, I really had to say that Cathedral, that was actually, it's like a church, but Cathedral was actually the final climatic fight scene between the blank strong man, the goon who beat Batman, that was actually Cathedral. Commissioned production designer Anton Furst created 38-foot, 12 meters model of Cathedral. It cost $1,000 when the film was already well over budget. It was filmed in England studios, but the producer John Peters did not even say that. He did not even say that to Tim Burton. And he hired, the commissioned production designer Anton Furst to create the Cathedral, because Tim Burton did not know about it, and when Jack Nicholson was walking, he didn't know what's going on, and Tim Burton couldn't tell him what's going on, because the climatic fight scene, it was actually written by John Peters without, actually was written by Sam Hamm, and John Peters without knowledge of Tim Burton, and that really upset Tim Burton. In the script was actually written, in which Joker kills Vicky Vale, and that outrages Batman into fury, but that was changed, that was deleted, how the script was changed, and Tim Burton was really upset over that. But the Cathedral, I really thought that exists, when designer Anton Furst in England, Pinewood Studios create 38-foot, 12-meter model, it was fantastic, it was a model. Cathedral was a model, designed by commissioner production designer Anton Furst. It was awesome, it was fantastic, But the budget, was $35 million. It really cost. Nowadays, it will cost $300 million for making that movie. That time cost them less than now, $35 million. And you know what? Batman 99 is better than Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice. It's better than The Dark Knight, in my opinion. Yes, Dark Knight is considered the best Batman. To me, is Batman 99 the best one. It's actually better than Begins. It's better than Justice League, better than Batman v Dawn Justice. Better than Batman Begins, in my opinion. Better than all Nolan movies, in my opinion. I love this movie to death. I love this movie dearly, dearly to death. It's my movie. My movie, even for rated PG-13, it has tons of action, like Batmobile goes into Axel chemicals and uses machine guns, and destroys the wall, and like Joker goes and shoots on the car, and he puts that grenade, that mine, and the car drives, and the whole plant explodes. Great practical effect. And Batman's car shows up, and Joker's in the helicopter and says, "Hey, man, you miss me. And you see Batman's face all pissed, Batman's now very pissed because Joker escaped, and I love that scene, My favorite scene, I actually have to say that my favorite scene will be the fights with the swordsman, when the swordsman fights Batman. It was Master Scan who's a Joker swordsman, fights Batman, and Batman goes like this, and he uses the shields on his hand, to block the sword attacks, the hits from him, and he goes and he kicks him with the hand, and then he uses his leg and kicks in the face. I love that scene. It was choreographed. The martial arts are choreographed by Master Scan. He choreographed all the fight scenes for Batman, who played Michael Keaton. He choreographed, and honestly, much better than Batman Begins. Much better hits, much better fights, much better blow. No CGI in this movie, all practical. The fight scenes were excellent choreographed, so better than Batman Begins. I can see nothing in Batman Begins, the fight scenes. This was better choreographed, in my opinion. So that will be my favorite scene. Master Scan, who plays Swordsman, will be definitely my ultimate favorite scene. I know I should say Clive Curtis, who's a black strongman who beats Batman, which is actually my second favorite scene, but this will be the Swordsman is my favorite goon, my favorite scene of all Batman. I still remember as a kid, when I said, to my friends, I want to watch Batman, and my friends said no. But as a kid, I also rented this movie on VHS. I still remember I rented this movie on VHS, and one day the tape stuck in the recorder, and I kind of, it was really hard to take it out, But I really liked it, I really liked it. I read as a kid. I watched it as a TV. I taped the film. So huge fan of Batman 1989. Also, like I said, the cast, Michael Keaton, that did outstanding job as Cape Crusader, Dark Knight, Batman, Cape Crusader, and Avenger of the Night. I call him Avenger of the Night, or Vigilante of the Night. He did a great job as Batman and Bruce Wayne. Jack Nicholson as Joker, fantastic. Kim Basinger as Vicky Vale was outstanding. She was great. The rest of the cast, Pat Hingle as Gordon, fantastic. Michael Gough was better than Michael Caine as Alfred. He took the role as a skin, And like I said, Michael Keaton played the character right on the skin. Jerry Hall was great as Alicia, when Joker explained, she jumped out the window. It's definitely Joker throws her out the window. He got tired of her, Tracy Walters, Bob the Goon was great. William Hootkins as Eckhart was okay. Christopher Fairbank and George Bow were all good in the role as the goons, the muggers. And I love the idea in which Batman, in which there's no origin story. We already, in the open scene we already see Batman. Not just like in Nolan. In Christopher Nolan's Batman Begins, there's no Batman in this movie. He's better. Batman's already in the open scene. So that's what I love the movie. There's more Gotham. That's real Gotham. Realistic. It's fast paced. And it's only 2 hours long. It's not 3 hours long like Nolan movies. That's why I love this movie to death. But yeah, that's my 32 anniversary special review for Batman, my personal favorite Batman movie for all time. I could talk more, and it's gonna be a really long review, but thanks for watching, and take care, and have a good day, and I'll see you in the next review. I'm out, and see you later. I'm out. Peace.